Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a new hits and misses video. This is going to be a follow-up to a recent trying new makeup video. Whenever I do my trying new makeup videos, typically a lot of those are first impressions, second impressions, that sort of thing. So I will always come back after a few weeks of trying everything out to give my full thoughts and opinions. I just have 4 different products to try out today, so I'll try to make this, or to review today. So I'll try to make this as quick as I can. So why don't we go ahead and get started. So I will have my video listed down below, but it was where I was trying out this Too Faced Do You foundation, another product from the Too Faced Tutti Frutti collection, the Urban Decay Elements palette, and also the new blush balm from Flower Beauty. So first up I have from Too Faced the Do You Full Coverage Fresh Glow foundation, which looks like this. I picked up mine in the shade Light Beige. This was $36, so it says it's a full coverage. It says infused with juicy watermelon and fresh cucumber. It's supposed to give you a dewy finish. It's supposed to be like more brightening for the skin. So on the back it says long wearing, dewy finish, hydrating, brightening. Okay, I don't like this one. And I'm so bummed because I've been trying a lot from Too Faced recently that I have been very impressed with, and I love trying out foundations, and especially when I see something that says it has a dewy finish, I'm like, yes, because I feel like matte finish foundations have just been everywhere. Like, that's been the thing, and I prefer more natural or dewy finish foundations. So when I saw this, I was like, I really want to try this out. And I don't love it. So when I was trying it out in the video, you know, I could definitely notice the dewy finish claim is real. You get so dewy. I actually prefer to set this with a powder because you can still get that dewy finish, but it's not like overly. I do have dry skin. If you have oily skin, you probably, my guess is that you probably wouldn't like this. I don't have oily skin, so I can never say for sure, but just knowing how dewy it made me on my dry skin, I feel like if you're oily, you probably wouldn't love this one. But again, like, it was almost just slightly too much. Again, powdering really helped. I don't feel like it was super long wearing. That claim I wasn't so sure about. Every other time that I tested it and I wore it for super long hours, I mean, it was around like the 6 hour, for sure by the 8 hour mark, that it was starting to kind of wear away. I could notice it like breaking up in certain areas, especially around my nose too. So the long wearing claim I wasn't really feeling, and you know, it's fine if I'm just gonna sit down and film for a little bit or just like go out to a dinner. But when there's times where I'm putting my makeup on in the morning and I want it to last all evening, I really want to have that like fantastic long wear foundation, and this one just isn't it. My biggest problem with this one is I'm fairly sure it was breaking me out. So that was a bummer. I made a reference to, I was talking about the ColourPop All-Star primer, the face primer, and I said that I was going to give it a good review, but I heard some other people saying they thought it was breaking them out, and so I was like, I'm between 2 different products. I'm between a primer and a foundation that I think is breaking me out, and I think it's the foundation because I ceased wearing the primer and I kept trying out this foundation, and my breakouts just continually were there. Since I decided, you know, I have my review on this, I know what I'm gonna say, I stopped using this, and I haven't had one of those like giant nasty breakouts since I've stopped using this foundation. So I don't know if it's because there's such a scent to this one. Like, I don't know if there's some ingredient in here that's just causing a reaction to my skin. I do also have sensitive skin, so I wanted to point that out, but I will not be using this foundation anymore. I think I bought it either with points or, I don't know. Ulta's return policy is now so weird. I'm just like, I'm scared to try to return anything from Ulta because I've gotten so much hassle lately from them. So I don't know if I'll return it or if I'll just eat the $36. Again, I'm pretty sure I purchased this with points, so I don't really, if you guys know how that works, let me know. But Alyssa, who I met at Gen Beauty, if you're watching this, you said you work at Ulta and you know it all, so let me know, girl, what I should do here, because I don't know, oh well, I'm not going to use it again, so that's kind of a bummer. But yeah, this one definitely wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my favorite looking on my skin, but then especially because it was breaking me out, just not going to be a favorite foundation of mine. So that's kind of a bummer. But I did try another product from the Too Faced Tutti Frutti collection, and I really, really do like this one. So this is the Pineapple Paradise Strobing Bronzer. So I really like the packaging on it, and then inside you do have a nice compact with a mirror, and you have a shimmery bronzer on one side and then a really beautiful highlight on the other. So this duo is $30, and I'm so impressed with this one. I actually went on a trip about a month ago or so, I would say, and this is a compact that I brought with me because I like it so much. I'm normally more of a matte bronzer kind of girl, so when I saw that this one was a shimmer bronzer, I kind of went back and forth like, I don't know what to do. But it's just a really, like, it's not shimmery at all. It's not like a glittery bronzer or anything like that. It just kind of gives like a nice glow. I don't know how to describe this bronzer, but I just think it's really, really nice. I think it looks really nice and smooth on the skin. It's still really easy to blend out, and I've actually been way more impressed with the bronzer than I thought I was going to be. And then the highlight I just think is really, really gorgeous. It's that gold champagne, just like a perfect highlight that I enjoy so much for my skin tone. So this duo really, this is a good one for me. Again, I like the compact on it. I like to take it traveling. I enjoy that it has the mirror on it. This one I've really been getting on with. So next up to chat about, I have the Urban Decay Elements palette. This is their holiday release. Now this is a $52 eyeshadow palette. You get 19 different shades inside. You do get a nice mirror. You have a mixture of matte, shimmers, kind of more metallics. There's some duochromes in here. And I have some conflicting thoughts on this one because I kept going back and forth between I'm not so sure I love it, not so sure about it, I think I really like it. And I think where I've ended up is that I like it. I think that it's a good palette, but it's also really expensive at $52. It is going to be limited edition because it's their holiday release. And I don't feel like I would recommend to like go out, like run, buy it right away. You know, I don't get that kind of feeling with this palette. Now the last year holiday release from Urban Decay, the Heavy Metals palette, that is an all shimmer palette, but I enjoy that palette so much and I spoke so highly about that palette, and that was a palette that I was like, go out and get this. I don't even like all shimmer palettes. I like a mixture. So when this came out, I was like, I'm totally gonna enjoy this one way more than I liked last year's holiday release. And actually the more that I've been trying this one, I still think I like last year's holiday release more, which really surprised me because again, you have some of these mattes in here and you have, you know, kind of like your blending shades. You know, I'm more of like a traditional girl, not today, but typically I'm more of like a traditional girl when it comes to my eyeshadows, and you know, I like kind of my go-to looks. I like my brown transition crease colors, etc. You also do have a pink one over here, which again is great for me, but I don't know. There was one day where I was trying to work with these blues up here and it actually was just like not going well, and I ended up having to wipe the entire makeup look off. You do get a bit of fallout with these shimmers, and especially with the darker ones, you know, I recommend not doing your face first because you really do get a lot of fallout like this darker purple does also, and then it can kind of be a little bit messy on your skin, on your face. And I don't know, just I felt like with some of the looks that I was doing with this, I wasn't like overjoyed. I wasn't like, dang girl, that looks really awesome for a $52 palette. I was just like, oh yeah, this looks okay. You know, so I just couldn't get super hyped like I wanted to. And I'm just really bummed about that because, I don't know, I thought I would. My first impression didn't go super well because I thought this duochrome shade was going to be something a little bit different, and it wasn't quite what I expected it to be. But then the next look I did with it, I used some of these like bronzy shades and I thought that was pretty. But then the next look I did with it, I used some of these greens and I liked it, but I wasn't super impressed with it. So that's why I was like, I really am gonna have to like dig into every single shadow here and try a bunch of different color combinations and just see what I think about it. And that's kind of like my final verdict on it. I think that it's all right. I think $52 is pretty high. If this does end up going on sale, which a lot of Urban Decay products do go on sale, so if this goes on sale, that would be a little bit nicer if you had some of a discount with it. If you love the Urban Decay holiday releases and you like collect these, I still think this is a nice palette. I still think that you would get use out of it. But if you're just wondering if this is like a must-have palette, in my personal opinion, I just don't feel that way about this one. But last up to chat about, I have this Flower Beauty Blush Balm. So this is a blush, and it is a liquid blush. I have the shade Nectar, which is like a pretty peach. So this is kind of what the applicator looks like. So because it's like that liquid to cream blush, I just put a little bit on my hand and I will dab my beauty blender in it and then apply it to my cheeks, just like I did in the first impression and style video that I did. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you have seen me try to apply liquid blush before and things did not go so smoothly. I have since evolved. I have learned, watched more tutorials, and I feel like I'm really getting it now. We're moving on up, guys. And I don't have any problems applying this one. I also like the color a lot more than kind of the first liquid blush. It's more of like a red terracotta-y. You know, this one is a little bit more on the natural, neutral-ish side, so I think that probably plays a part in it too, and just getting better at it. But I've really had zero issues with this, and I think it looks really nice on the skin. I'm not a big like cream or liquid girl when it comes to like blushes, highlights, bronzers, you know, contours, things like that. I typically prefer my powders, but this looks really, really nice on the skin. It just looks, it definitely looks more natural, which I know that's supposed to be the point of like the cream and the liquids. This blush makes me feel that way. The only problem that I have with blushes like this is I tend to forget, like when I'm going through my makeup steps, I forget that I'm going to be using a cream product, and I do all of my powders, and then I'm like, oh no, now I'm supposed to be doing my like I do things out of order. And that's my bad. I did it in the video too, and there was a couple comments and I was like, I know, I realized it as I was putting the blush on that I was like doing my steps in the wrong order, and I was like, please go well, please go well. But it did. It went really well. Now these are $9.99. They're also available at Ulta, and there's quite a few different shades in there. I honestly might pick up another one because I actually really, really do like these. So if you've been curious about them, from someone who doesn't really know what she's doing with these actually get my stamp of approval. So I do like the blush bombs from Flower Beauty. Okay, so that is going to do it for today's video reviewing one of my recent trying new makeup first impression style videos. I hope that you enjoyed my reviews, you found them somewhat helpful. I feel like we got through this one pretty quickly, but I will have all of the products listed down below in case there's anything that you want to check out further, but I'd love to know your thoughts. Have you tried out any of these products and what do you think of them? I would love to know, of course. And as always, if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.